Hello. Guess what? I'm here and no one else is. I think it's just me talking to myself. We had stuff planned with John tonight. We were going to go over the 90-day fiance before the 90 days last episode, and something came up. And so we will be scheduling it for tomorrow. But I thought, since I had already put my makeup on, because I didn't see the message until too late, that I wouldn't waste the makeup and I would come say hi. So if anybody comes in, let me know you're here. But not much going on. I've been working on the little stuff that I've been that I put out that little video out. I'm going to try to make some of those videos longer. The Alice Crimmins case that I'm kind of digging into, and getting those a little, a little more than 5 minutes. But that was my first attempt at all of that voiceover with all the stuffs. The first one I did, that little teaser one, was just a little something that, this one was a little bit more, put a little bit more effort into it. So I hope to see people here with me. Otherwise, no biggie. Lots going on in the world of crime. I noticed something that kind of made me sad. The Marcellus Williams case. Don't know if you guys looked into that or heard about it. I think it yesterday. Marcellus Williams, he's been on death row for 20 years. From what I heard, even the family of the victim was saying that he shouldn't be there. And sadly, I guess the Innocence Project didn't get anything through, and he was sent off to his maker on, or was it yesterday? I just heard about it. My son came down and told me, so I haven't even looked at it yet. I thought we could take a look a little bit at that. Let me see here. I don't know. Let me find a good one that I can put up. He's from Missouri. Okay. So yeah, I just now heard about it. So it really kind of got to me. I always, the Innocence Project, I really do try to keep an eye on those kind of things. But this one I did not see. I spent the last 2 days doing my own stuff and was tied up in that. So let me see. Well, I'll put on, let me see. Will CNN nab me? I don't think so. I think CNN will be fine. 1 second. Let me pull this up. Take me a second. Hey, Shana. Hey, Wicked. Hey, I decided, I put my makeup on before I saw my phone. So that we weren't going live tonight, after all, that we've postponed it until tomorrow, which is no biggie. So I figured, what the heck? If anybody shows up, then I'm not alone. Oh, so yeah, John's cat's dealing with some stuff and they've worn out with it. So we're just gonna, take care of the 90-day fiance stuff tomorrow. So yeah, let me pull this up real quick so I can kind of, take a look at it and we can kind of go over it together. And took me up. Let's go here. Let's see. How does that look? There we go. See it. Make it a little bigger. And so there he is. And I probably won't play it. I'll just read the article. That way, if CNN doesn't like it, I won't have played it. I'll just show it on my screen. So let's see if yeah, oops. Oops is right. Yes. I forgot that I had my phone on mute because I was recording that video earlier today. So I had to, you know, I should have looked at my phone. I didn't. I don't get a lot of calls, so it's mostly quiet over here. Okay, let's see here. Is that big enough for everybody to see? All right, so it says Marcellus Williams, whose unaliving conviction was questioned by a prosecutor, died by lethal injection Tuesday in the evening in Missouri after the U.S. Supreme Court denied a stay. The 55-year-old was put to his unaliving around 6 p.m. Central Time at the state prison in Bonne Terre? I don't know. Williams' attorney had filed a flurry of appeal efforts based on what they described as new evidence, including alleged bias in jury selection and contamination of the Immer weapon prior to trial. The victim's family had asked the inmate be spared. That is what my son said, that the victim's family said. I guess they're saying that they believe it was the wrong guy. The U.S. Supreme Court's action came a day after Missouri's Supreme Court governor refused to grant a stay of execution. The High Court offered no explanation for its decision, which is common for cases on its emergency docket. There were no noted dissents in two of Williams' appeals. In a third, Justices Sotomayor, yes, I know that name, Elena Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson said they would have granted the request to pause the execution. Williams was convicted in 2001 of unaliving Felicia Gale, a former newspaper reporter found stabbed to her demise in her home in 1998. Quote, "We hope this gives finality to a case that's languished for decades, re-victimized Miss Gale's family for decades," Governor Mike Parsons said in a statement read by Trevor Foley, director of the Missouri Department of Corrections. No juror, no judge has ever found Williams' innocence claim to be credible. 2 decades of judicial proceedings and more than 15 judicial hearings upheld his guilty conviction. Thus, the order of execution has been carried out. In a statement after the execution, one of Williams' attorneys, Larry Comp, said his client maintained his innocence to the end. While he would readily admit to the wrongs he had done throughout his life, he never wavered in asserting his innocence of the crime for which he was put to his unaliving tonight, Comp said. Although we are devastated and in disbelief over what the state has done to an innocent man, we are comforted that he left this world in peace. Moments after the High Court decision was made, another of Williams' attorneys, Tricia Rojo Bushnell, told CNN's Jake Tapper that the state was prepared to unalive an innocent man. Yikes. Whew. They will do it even though the prosecutor doesn't want him to be executed. That right there. Whew. Even the prosecutor said, and the High Court wouldn't listen. The jurors who sentenced him to death don't want him executed, and the victims themselves don't want him to be executed. We have a system that values finality over fairness, and this is the result that we will get from that. It is news to all of us, and I think that it should be a shame to all of us that we have a system that will let a man be executed in spite of all of this. Really is not a system of justice, the attorney said. In a statement posted on X, the NAACP said Missouri, I hate that, lynched another, oh God, I can't stand that. Missouri, another innocent Black man. Governor Parson had the responsibility to save this innocent life, and he didn't. We will hold Governor Parson accountable. When DNA evidence proves innocence, capital punishment is not justice. It is unaliving. Yes. Recently, the top prosecutor in St. Louis County joined Williams' attorneys in asking for the conviction to be overturned after new testimony from 2001 trial prosecutor recently DNA testing showed evidence contamination. The case highlighted the issue of potentially putting an innocent person to his demise. An innocent risk of capital punishment, at least 200 sentenced to their demise since 73 were later exonerated, including 4 in Missouri, according to the DP Information Center. Wow. Oh my goodness, this is so much. That is a lot. If you want to read more, just go to, I'll put the link for this in the description so that you can see it, but oh, it's heartbreaking. Anyway, I just happened to see that come across as I was coming live. Hey, Miss Catherine, good to see you. So I don't know if you guys, had seen that before. So, anyway, I really have nothing much to say. I would, just wanted to come on and say, get some life back into this poor little channel that's been sitting here all summer doing nothing except for going with John on his lives. But yes. So what are y'all up to? Y'all getting ready for bed? It's earlier here. I'm on the West Coast. So, but anywho, I am excited about tomorrow's, if we can get, when we get to this show, about talking about one of the new cast members on 90 Day, on the before the 90 days. I'm excited about somebody that is the first time they've been on is this last episode. And I have a feeling about some stuff, and I can't wait to talk more about it tomorrow night with John. I know people don't really like me to talk about the subject of spectrum, but I am happy to see, like I said before, I'm happy to see somebody on TLC actually say the word that that I am autistic, because it needs to be something that's said more and not just assumed. I mean, I have that ability to look at somebody and go, yeah, I see some similar stuff. So there's that. So how are you guys? Anybody? You can tell I'm fishing for shit to say. So what else? This is why I don't like to come on with no script. So anywho, just thought I'd hop on real quick. And hey, we went over the Marcellus thing. It's sad. I think there was somebody the other day, I think it was Susie, made me aware of somebody. Let me look real quick back at what she said. She said somebody else was also in the same predicament. Let me look at her. I can't remember his name. His name was this is on witness admitting. So who is this one? Let me see. Let me click on this and see what this is. Who is this? Oh, so this is from, where'd it go? There it is. This one is, let me share this and we'll kind of go over this a little bit. Oh, not that. It's this one. Yep. Let's see, make sure that looks good. Okay. So this one, let me see if I can read this. You probably can't see it very well. It's kind of small. I lost it. Yep, there we go. Make it a little bigger, maybe. Oh, does that help any? So this one is, this one says, who needs enemies when you have friends like this? The quote friend that told police that he saw Freddie Owens unalive a Greenville, South Carolina convenience store clerk in 1997 now comes forward before Freddie's unaliving, saying he lied. Freddie, quote, Freddie was not there, is what he is now saying. He says he was fearful the real unalivers would unalive him. He also says he was on drugs and high at the time, and police forced him to say it was Freddie. So he's claiming coercion. Is that what I'm getting from that? Owen's lawyers on Wednesday filed a sworn statement from friends and co-defendant Stephen Golden late Wednesday to try to stop South Carolina from carrying out the execution. The Supreme Court decided they are moving forward with the execution set for tonight at 6 p.m. This was how long ago? This was 5 days ago? Yes. Sorry. The Supreme Court decided they were moving forward. He is set to unalive by lethal injection. Yes, very terrible for sure. I just do not like these cases like this. It's heartbreaking. So the Supreme Court again does the same thing. I am a huge proponent and supporter of the Innocence Project. Do they, are they always right? No, but I like it when they are. This is just heartbreaking, but I do. I hope that something is put in place where these things are looked at more closely. When you have somebody step forward like that and say, I fibbed, there needs to be an instant halt. They need to have an emergency hearing and it needs to be halted. And then it needs to go back and they need to take a look and do more questioning of the person who said he was untruthful, not just say, nope, we're moving forward. That bothers me greatly. So what are your guys' thoughts on that kind of thing? Hey, Glennis, Randy, good to see you. Like I said, for those who may not have been here when I first mentioned it, we're going to be live with the 90-day stuff on our channel and John Yates, but we had to postpone. He's been dealing with a sick kitty cat, and so he's wiped out, and we'll move it and take care of it tomorrow. Hey, Brooks Nose. Yay, Brooks Nose is here. It's so cool seeing some of the names from John's. I love it. Makes me very happy, especially to see Shayna Shauna here. So that is that one. So I haven't looked at or anything about any other stuff going on and anywhere. As far as other stuff in the legal news, I know most of y'all from John's are probably not really into the whole true crime thing, but tis my what I like. I like both. I actually like doing reality TV with John because it gives me a break from this from the when I was doing it for 7 years and all that stuff, and it was a good break. It was a good way to just have some fun and talk about stuff, and then but there's it's still part of my background and stuff is the whole true crime stuff. So I'm really into it, and I'm looking for more cases. I have a producer. I'm allowed to say, she said I could say it. Susie Q is my producer, and we're putting together their stuff, and she's really helping me with this Crimmins case. So we'll be looking for other stuff as I go along, more stuff to put out there. And this is my first time doing my own editing and my own recording. I've been, using like editing stuff for years, but it was not me doing it for myself. I was doing it for others. So now I had to look at my thing and say, okay, how do I record my voice? So I figured that out because I hadn't had to do that before. Oh, so I also have to practice reading so I don't sound like I'm reading the phone book or anything like that. So Brooks Nose says, I agree with you. Those cases need to be set and looked at. Yes, absolutely. The fact that Supreme Court just automatically says, nope, we're moving forward, that bothers me greatly. We should be farther along in our justice system for that not to be a thing. If we, especially when we have the Innocence Project, I mean, they're there for a reason because they're seeing things that need to be, looked at. There are going to be times when this stuff happens, and it's sad when it does. And we're talking about this case is 20 years old. The first guy that I talked about, Williams, sat on death row for 20 years. Just unbelievable. Hey, Toby, good to see you. Long time no see. Toby says, good evening, Addi. Just checking in on you. What's a phone book? Younger viewers don't know. That is true. I forgot. The phone book, the thing that you used to use when you didn't have a phone, to have all your phone numbers in it. Phone numbers have killed my ability to remember numbers. I have nightmares all the time, and that one day I'm going to get stuck somewhere. I'm going to lose the battery power in my phone, and I won't know how to call anybody on because I don't know what their number is, because their numbers are names in my phone. So for those of us who grew up with phone books, yeah, they now, and we don't even get them at the house anymore. For a couple of years, they were putting them at, still handing them out, but they don't even do that anymore. I haven't gotten a phone book in forever. So Toby says the federal Supreme Court. Yeah, I was talking about the two cases recently, Marcellus Williams, and then the other one was Freddie Owens, I think it was. They were both unalived by lethal injection, even though both cases, the first one, the victims of the victim's family, and also the prosecutor were like, yeah, no, this is not good. This needs to be rechecked. We need to get back into this. And he didn't do it. He didn't do it. But the Supreme Court wouldn't listen. And they went ahead Tuesday with him, and he was put to death. So very sad. I'm trying to use words that don't get me demonetized. That's the thing these days. They're really starting to crack down on some of the stuff we say. Mrs. Catherine says, I'm glad I'm in Canada and glad we don't have the DP. Yes, I am not anti for DP for certain cases. There are cases that are just okay. This one's a case for DP, but I don't think it's something that should be just put out there and added to the case, or charge the person has to. I don't know. It's just some cases yes, but most cases no. I think I kind of look at things where if a child is involved, that one I automatically say yep, on that case, yes. So Miss Catherine says, I have a phone book. It's very thin these days. oh, the days. Brooks knows our justice system is broken. It needs a revamp. And Toby says there's no way to petition the federal Supreme Court. They just kick it back to the state. Only the state governor can stop it after that. So if the Supreme Court decides not to do it, then there's no way around it. So you have to get the Supreme Court to do that and not just say, nope, it's going through. And that's the issue, right? Toby says, I am not anti-DP, just the system we use to impose it. Absurd system. Catherine, I hate how YouTube won't allow words that are part of normal conversation between adults. It can be a thing, and it's a struggle, but like on the stuff that I'm doing and whatever, I have to remember to put certain words in and don't say certain things. So far, not too bad. So, and Glenna says, yeah, I don't get the DP either. Hey, are you from Canada too? So, but yeah, those are two cases that actually I just found out about the first one, Williams, before I hopped on. I just wanted to come on and say hi. Something I don't do that often live on my own channel. because I've gotten out of the habit. I think, Daybell trial went really well, but it wore me out. That was not what 8, 9 hours, 5 days a week was a lot of being on camera. So I got burnt out quickly for 35 days of a trial. But I'm going to work on trying to get back in the habit of being comfortable in front of the camera by myself. If anybody knows anybody that would like to go live with me as a co-host out who likes true crime stuff, send them my way. Give them my my Instagram, and that would rock. I tried to contact. I don't know if you guys know who Teaspiracy is. Az. She's got a life now outside of YouTube, so that I don't see her on that often anymore. I would love to have gotten to do some stuff with her. She's a hoot. I like her. She used to hang out with us in that other chat. Yeah. So Toby says the governor can change their mind even if the Supreme Court gives the state the go-ahead. The governor can't be forced to sign off on an execution. Okay. It's all very sad. Yes. But I just feel like it should be something like if you have people stepping up saying, hey, something's wrong, and the prosecutor says, hey, hello, no, we need to, this is not okay, we can't go through with this, then that should be something that should mean something. I guess that's a part of what you're saying is our system is broken, right? Toby says, Daybell trial wore me out also. Stopped watching for a while. Yeah, it was a lot. What do we... I find it a little bit too difficult to do a full trial like that. I don't have the sensory abilities to keep up with it. It completely wore my sensories out. And what I think I may do is try to do some updates, kind of like Kurt from Uncivil Law does, like do updates on stuff. That's what I'm trying to aim for. I think it would be easier on me, and keep updated as to what's going on and that kind of thing. But yeah, following an entire trial is too much for me. Hey, MTT, yay! I thought I'd just hop on real quick, MTT, while we had to cancel before the 90 days. So, because I'd already put my makeup on before I looked at my phone and went, oh, we've moved it. So no biggie. That was my fault. I didn't have my ringer on. I forgot. But so, yeah. Hey, Barbie. I miss you, Barbie, talking to you on the reg. I'm sitting in urgent care with the hubby. Oh, no. Yikes. Barbie. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, get well quick, Mr. Barbie. Look who's here with us. Hey, David. Anybody who doesn't know who here? Oh, let me grab his channel real quickie, and I'll wait a second. Hush. Where'd it go? Let me find it real quick. There it is. Get his channel, and be sure and go to. Oh, I lost the. Where is it? I got too many windows open. There it is. That one. Okay, here is. So that is the channel that John was on. The other, was it the last couple Saturdays, trying to put together that poor owl? I still have no idea if they actually finished it. That would be. John's been dealing with his poor kitty cat's been sick, and he's been trying to get him seen, his little hope, get him seen. So he's, dealing with that. David says, thank you, Addi. Will be joining us soon. Oh, yeah, I need to come up with something that shows me from the top down. I need to get a setup. Someday I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on getting a setup to where I can, like I'm thinking about putting a table here in front where my desks are and then having a camera. MTT told me about a camera thing where it aims down. I kind of want it to where you can see my hands and the table because of certain reasons. And also I'm going to be doing crochet videos eventually or whatever. Um, Once I get that, my husband wants to learn to crochet since I've been doing it since I was 26. And he's all like, I think I want to learn how to do that. Okay, cool. I've only been asking you for how long? So I'm going to be doing videos and trying to teach he and Cody, John's husband, how to crochet. Oh, pray for me. I have never tried to. I've asked my sons 5 billion times. They're the only ones, here to ask. You want to learn how to? I want to teach somebody. No. Okay, fine. So yeah. Yeah. One of the reasons why I haven't really, told David, uh, about going on there yet is because I need to. I need to have a setup, or I'll be very uncomfortable. It's a I don't want to explain it, but it's a thing. So I'll figure it out. But yeah. And I think we have we have some time because I know he's got a backlog of people who are coming up on his channel. So that gives me time. Oh, sorry. Barbara says, no, Toby, it's our free Canadian healthcare. I don't even want to talk about that. Oh, well, I know he didn't finish when he was on the show. I don't know if they've actually, because he and Cody were going to work on it together afterwards, but with their kitty cat having issues, they probably have not been thinking about an owl right now. So I know that they didn't finish it on the live. I saw I think he disassembled it. Didn't he completely disassemble the whole thing? So poor Cody has to start over. And so, MTT says she got hers from the dollar store. Oh, I'll probably go to Amazon. But yes, Amazon right there. Yep, that's probably where my problem is I get in there and then there's 5 billion things to look at and then I have to make a choice and I'm not really good at that. So I'll hand it to my husband and say, here, tell me what I need. MTC says, oh, I want to join for the crochet stuff. Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. I know that my husband and I will be on. Cody, if he still wants to, he'll be on. I hope he knows he's going to be on camera. It's going to be interesting trying to teach somebody or somebody's. Oh, because I'm left-handed, and unless you're looking straight at me, and if you're going to look down on my hands, you'll be seeing me crocheting with my left hand. I could use my other one, but I'm better with my left hand. So Toby says they're understaffed and triaging, and also possibly sloths. Sloths are even slower in cold climates. Oh, poor Barbie's hubby. I would love learning to crochet. I want to make a dog sweater. I think I made one once a long time ago. I can't remember. And Lego. David says we have a few months. Oh, thank gosh. We've got plans for the month of Thanksgiving. So that month is busy for us. Oh, not Lego though. I stepped on one. Yeah, that's the same thing. What was it? Wicked says that all the time. Oh, I love, if you see right, I can't always, there we go. Right here, that thing, right? That is the Millennium Falcon. My son and I finally got it put together. I started it and then we had to move and then I put it all in a big box and then it took me a while to get back into being able to continue putting it together. So, but yeah, we have our dining table right now, and it is filled with the Lego projects that we have going. And I'm thinking I think it's down. I got something down there that I need to put together. It's right there. Let me take that down. And then behind me on this side, or I can't remember where. I lost where it is. I have a what's it? This one, Baby Yoda that I need to put together. That's a big project. Only thing I'll do a small project on David's. It'll probably be Star Wars related. So that way it's not going to be anything like what John did. As soon as John picked up the box and I saw the box, I'm going, oh, that's going to be for your first project on a channel. Ugh. But I actually thought he was adorable watching him do it. It was really cute. He was a struggling. So let me see here. Toby says, I'm very sorry to hear about Canadian medical care. As an older person, medical care is an issue. Is it gotten something going on with Canada? I almost said Canada like John says. Sorry. Barbie says, that is the exact reason why I don't have them in my house. Oh, Legos. Well, no, you gotta you can't leave them on the floor. If you drop them, you gotta go find it so you don't step on it later. But yeah, Legos have always been my thing. I do, if I have a hobby, I tend to do a hobby for a while and then switch to another hobby and then go back and forth. And it's a whole ADHD thing. It's sticking to the same thing all the time. Like right now I've been, for the entire summer, I have been crocheting every day, all day, doing blankets and whatnot. I got a project over here that's kind of stacked. It's a bunch of granny squares that I need to make into a blanket. I'm doing what do you call them? Scrap blankets, just using up the scraps, the rest of stuff, and trying to get my old stash taken down, all the stuff in these bins, so that I have a reason to actually start new projects. I've really been getting into doing blankets. I always thought it was a big thing. It was too much, but I've decided that it's actually not, because I love making granny squares. So, and I learned a good way to actually attach the granny squares, so it's not as bad and it's not as mind boggling. Like you think, oh my goodness, trying to crochet an entire blanket. Oh, I started one time trying to crochet a blanket that was the zigzag pattern. It's the waves, I guess you call it. And it's all single crochet. And I'm thinking, yeah, let's just make this the size of a twin bed. Well, my ADHD said, you're only going to get this far and then you're going to quit. So that's what happened. And now I have a small runner. I've turned it into a table runner. It's not a blanket. It's a table runner. So that is how you handle when ADHD kicks in. If you've got a project going and you're like, yeah, nope, make it something else. And that's what I did with that. So let's see what, see, I got stuck up here. Let's see. Broke Snows. MDT, they made absolutely no sense to me. One judge said she should have way less, and then the other judge made 0 sense to me. So which one are we talking about? Oh, did anyone else? Oh, did anyone else see Julie Chrisley got recent today in 80? No, I have no idea. I haven't been following any trials or anything since the entire summer. After Daybell, I got burnt out and I took a break from trials. I've been just doing stuff with John. But I'll have to take a look at that and see what that's about. So I don't even know who Julie Chrisley is. Not related to the Chrisleys. Those people, the religious guy? Is that the same guy or is it somebody else? Oh, Toby says, I love the Millennium Falcon. I made one from plastic kit once, glued together, not Lego. Yes. Oh, I'm a big I've been Star Wars since I was little. I'm the Star Wars person and my husband is the Trekkie. So John and my husband bond over Trekkie stuff. So I don't know. I have to go look at this Chrisley thing since I have no idea what that's about. Oh, MTT is saying that the hair in Canada, it's not as all it's cracked up to be. Wait times are crazy for hospitals, or even is that because it's healthcare for everybody? If that's how that works, I think that's how it works there, right? Is it because of that, or you're waiting a year for an appointment? Oh my goodness. Miss C, the thought of tainting my root beer with bourbon. Woo! That actually sounds good. Makes me want to. What? No, hey, bourbon. Bourbon is my thing. Bourbon, yes, bourbon is my thing. We used to do what is it? Or brown sugar bourbon. We did that for quite some time, and we've kind of switched it up to what is it? With apple something or other whiskey now, but I'm trying to keep my consumption down to the weekend, not during the week. It's kind of snuck a day or two into the week. So I'm now pushing it back to, nope, keep it back to the weekend. Weekend is our fun time. And then the rest of the week, no. So, yeah, that's actually a really good idea. You can do that. That's actually a really good idea. What I want to do is make a sweater out of granny squares. I see them on, YouTube or in the shorts and whatnot, or TikTok. And I want to do it. I'm going to try it. I have not made clothes. I guess you call hats clothes. I've crocheted hats. I've knitted hats. Knitted scarves. I have lots of scarves that I've crocheted and knitted, but that's about it. I've not done anything like sweaters. It was always too much of a, that project's gonna not be completed. I can tell you that already. But with granny squares, you finish, it feels like you're actually finishing the project because it's a square. You get one square, you move on to the next one. I actually do this thing where if I have multiple colors in a square, I will crochet all of the squares. I'll do 5 at a time. Let's say I'm going to make 5 squares. So every time I start with the first color and I crochet 5 beginnings, the center part. And then if I'm moving to the next color, then I do it 5 times with that color and so forth until however many colors in that, that way. Then when I'm done with all the colors, I've completed 5 squares in one day. It's just a way I do different things to keep my mind from getting bored and then wanting to stop a project. But I also did learn a really good way to join the granny squares, and it's all crocheted and it works out really well. I didn't know I was going to talk about this, but I should have brought the blanket in that I'm working on now. It's only 2 colors. I have the ones right there are 8 colors, but they're all blue and with a little bit of purple, and it's all leftover yarn that I've had for a long time that I didn't really have anything to use it on. So I've just put it all into a blanket, into squares. But yeah, crochet is my thing. I love knitting. Knitting is so much fun, but it hurts my hands. I have issues with my fingers I have gout. It's from too much protein consumption because of my, how I have to have it and whatever. So I've developed gout and it's in my joints. And sometimes knitting makes it a wee tad sore on the joints. And MTT says that she has taken apart many projects. I've never taken them apart. I just changed them into something else. So like I said, if I do a blanket or whatever, and I'm like, I don't want to continue on with this blanket, then, or whatever, this is too much, because I've decided to use single crochet, and single crochet on a blanket is a lot, because it's, you're never really progressing very far with single crochet. I mean, it's a pretty stitch and everything, especially for the zigzag, whatever you call that stitch. But I'm like, oh, this was a bad idea. I like a double crochet. Helps the pattern. It helps you feel like you're crocheting, getting along faster. I just learned to do something. I learned to do a spiral granny square. I think this one I'm working or have is like 4 or 5 colors, and you start from the center and you crochet all the way around with all of the colors, and they stay attached to the square, and you just move from color to color, and once you go this many on this color, you go to the next one, and by the time you're done, you have a granny square with a spiral in it. It's really cool looking. I just learned how to do that. That one I like, and it's a lot, and it does take a bit of time, but it's really cool. It looks really cool. I don't have one out. I had some stuff up there, but I took them down. Oh, let's see. So I wanted to see what Toby had to say about that. So Canadian healthcare is like Medicare for everybody in the US, right? Which we don't have. Oh, right. Only about 20% of Canadians would qualify for US Medicare. Very true. And MTT, I've been painting my house for the last week and a half, very slowly. Oh, today I started with the kitchen, but because I moved cupboards, I have extra drywall to do. Painting, I've done it. I grew up, we built houses, we roofed houses. I've actually capped off a house myself with my siblings. Yep, we did all that stuff. Grew up doing it. Used to have back muscles from all the lifting and all of the stuff growing up. Yeah, I actually enjoyed the roofing part. That was fun. I mean, getting up there, straddling the top of it, and putting the cat, and putting the stuff down, and then doing the cat. I got up in the morning. My parents had left. They came home, and I had finished the entire capping of the roof myself. No leaks. It was very well. Did it myself. It was great. Loved it. Toby says, congratulations on the house painting. If you have to go to the Canadian urgent care, you've got good recent experience watching paint dry. Oh, wait. Oh, so invisible joining. Oh, that's a good one. That's a little bit time consuming for me. I mean, it looks really good. You don't see it, you go in and out. I know exactly how to do that. But the one that I have learned to do is actually a crochet joining, which becomes part of the project. Here, I'm gonna go. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this off real quick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get it, sitting right out here by the door. 1 second. Okay, so this is sorry about that. This is what I'm working on. So it's only 2 colors, and to me it's a lot of white. I didn't realize it was going to be this much white until I put the 2 colors together, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of white. But it's this right here. So let's go. There we go. So the join, this center part right here, it's all crocheted. You're crocheting all the way around. You crochet all your squares together. See how that is? It actually looks really cool. It doesn't look as good on camera, I don't think, but that is done. It took me a little bit to get used to it, on how to keep the corners together, but I finally mastered it, and it is probably the only way that I'm ever going to join blankets, because you don't have to in normal when you're joining squares, you join like down a row, and then you got to go this way, and then you got to turn it around and then go the other way and sew it. This way you're just crocheting it the same as you're crocheting the blanket. And this one is going to be a twin size, which I'm this far in. So I don't know that's a lot of white. I should have picked a not so bright a white. And this is the first time that I actually really tried it. And then the next squares I did over there, I decided, hey, let's put 8 colors together. I like the 8 colors better than the 2. But it's a burgundy or whatever and white. But that's what it is. Yeah, you can see where I have to go all the way around. But anyway, that is the join. It's not difficult to do. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually really easy. And there is a blanket I did that is, I've had it on the back of my chair. Let me grab it real quick again. I should have done all this. Didn't even know I was going to talk about this. 1 second. So this blanket these are squares that my biological mother crocheted. I was not raised with my biological mother. I was adopted at birth, but got to meet her never in person, but over the phone and stuff. But she passed away a year before I got to meet my biological family. So when she passed away, my biological sister, sent me her projects that she had started. So and that she'd not finished. So I got these squares. She did these. It's really pretty. My 2 favorite. I put the 2. Okay, so these in the center. These I made these 2 in the center. She made 1, and I duplicated it to match hers, and I put them together. It's not really showing very well. Sorry. See, like that right there. So I duplicated it and put it next to hers. So our 2 squares that we made are together, and then she made all these other squares that are all over. They're different ones, kind of different patterns, and I duplicated those. It took me a bit to figure out her size. Her stitches were a little bit, I think she's a looser. I'm a tight crocheter. I like my stuff to not to be too loosey goosey. So anyway, I had to kind of match, and our numbers were off. So on this one, I used the same joining, the same way of joining. You can kind of see it. It really looks good with this one. And I joined it the same exact way as the other blanket that I'm working on. I think I did this one first. This is what I practiced on. And this one was a doozy because our stitches didn't match. So I had to fudge it all around to come up with different, so that it's still even and it's all, it's not all crooked or, they don't match or anything. But, I had to add little stitches here, add a little bit, take away a little bit to make sure that the squares stayed in, the symmetry that they are supposed to be in and look good. So yeah, but yes, it's all our work put together, and it's my blanket. I'm getting cremated when I die. But if I weren't and I would like it to be buried with me, but it's not. It's since I'm not going to be put under the earth. I'm going but anyway, I would take it with me if that were the way I was going out. But anyway, that's it. I had to figure it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a variegated, the greenish, all this stuff it's a variegated different colors. And then I added to match some of her stuff that she was doing, I added some of the purples. I had all of the yarn. I did have to buy a little extra, but yeah, it's a very pretty blanket. It's not big. I like doing a lap gans. So this is about the size of a little lap gan. And the first lap gan I did was this thing. My husband hates this one. He really doesn't hate it. That's a horrible thing to say. But he says this looks like the 70s. I think it looks like ice cream, but he says it looks like the 70s. So you could tell me what you think. This was the first. This is a one gigantic granny square, and it's the size of a lap gan, or I mean a lap blanket. But I just kept making a granny square, and I ended up look. What? You does it make you dizzy? I think he says it either looks like the 60s or the 70s. This was a oh, and I did the edge to match the colors, the best I could. If you really get down, you look at it, you can notice where I ended or I ran out of it. This was a scrap blanket. So a scrap yarn blanket where I'd run out of one color. So then I'd put something there that was kind of looked good with it. And you really don't know unless you really look that the blanket itself is actually, you've run out of one color and now you got to start a new color. So you can't tell because of the way I put it all together. But yeah. Oh, this is a good one for fall, but but yeah, I kind of like it. I don't know, it's red, and red is one of my favorite. Red used to be my ultimate favorite color, and then I turned purple. So red and purple are my colors. But those are the blankets, and these are the squares that I'm working on. Now, to me, this looks in person, it looks different, but to me, this looks like dryer lint to me. Don't ask me why. I haven't done I'm one of those people that when I crochet, I don't like to sew the ends in and then put away the finished thing. I do everything in steps. I crochet the square, I crochet all the squares, and then I sit down and I go in, and then I go back and I sew in all the ends. I don't sew as I go either. I mean, my brain, I have to go quick. So I make the thing, I put it down and I go, and then I go back and I sew all the ends that have to be sewed in later. But I don't know. Does that look like dryer lint? It's every color of blue that I had, and I just kind of decided to make it look like you're looking into it, and it kind of goes light to the darker. I don't know. What you think about that? I ran out of some of the purples. You can't really see because purple does not show up on camera. But I ran out of one kind, and I had to fudge it with other colors. So the ones I'm doing now are different. It's all the rest of the yarn that I had, which I think I'm going to do something with that. I think I'm going to make that into a like a purse. I do have purses that I've crocheted. Oh, hold on. Here we go again. Wait 1 second. Let me see. Where are you? Oh. You're seeing ADHD and autism in action. Oh, I'm everywhere. Huh. So these are two things that I still have yet to finish. Like I need to just make the handles and it'll be done. But these are purses. So there we go. So as you can see, this is I call it the wavy pattern, but it's zigzag or whatever the heck it is. And it's the purple and gray. There's this one. I still have to finish it. And I was thinking about actually trying to find I was thinking about leather handles. I think that would be pretty cool with it. And then a snap to do it. It would, and with rings. But yes, that's a purse. I don't put anything on the inside of it. It'll just be this. I could line it if I wanted to, but I don't sew. I'm not a fan of sewing. I could if I wanted to. I can sew by hand. I don't have a machine. But anyway, that's that one. I have another one similar to that in this same burgundy color. but this is another one that I've got the handle made for this, but this one is another purse that I need to finish. And this one, it doesn't show up. It looks blue, but it's actually purple and the same variegated green that's on that one blanket. I took some of her yarn and put it into this purse. So, but that's actually purple because purple does not show up well on camera. So, but it looks blue. But this is the other purse. And again, with the zigzag pattern. I like the zigzag pattern for small projects, not for blankets. My husband wanted me to crochet a blanket for his brother to make up for the one he had when he was a kid that we can't find. But I'm like, oh, that's a lot of blanket in a zigzag pattern. A single crochet. So I made him, my brother-in-law, I made him a scarf, a red, his favorite color is red. So he still has the same scarf. I think I made it 15 years ago. I can't remember, but he still has it and wears it and visited last year and he brought it with him. And I was like, oh, how sweet. Yeah, he loves his scarf. So, but anyway, that's what I've got going on in my life. I need to get back to actually finishing up the rest of this and start this blanket to get it finished and continue back to finish that one. But let's see here. Let me catch up with you guys. So purple sage one looked like a field of lavender. Oh, the blanket or the purse, I don't remember. But the colors, let me catch up. My dryer, my dryer lid. In person, it's a lot darker. It looks lighter on camera. I think it's because of the way I did it. I guess it's the one that, to me, there's a color up here that's kind of a grayish blue. And the yarn that I use, believe it or not, they tell you, never try to keep your size of your yarn the same. Like make sure if you're using worsted 4 to make sure all the yarn is worsted 4. Well, I don't always do that. Or sometimes I'll have a fuzzy yarn, like, you know, the stuff they use for amigurumi or something like that, the plushy, whatever you call that stuff. And sometimes I'll add that in, and that's actually in all of this. There is one right here. This one's a thick, there's one right here. It's a thick spiral blue. It's not worsted. It's actually a little bit thicker. And then there's one up here that's fuzzy, like an animal. And I just add it in. And what it does for me in the blankets is it makes it soft, you know, and it all will wash because it's all acrylic. I don't use wool. It's too, it actually makes me itchy, so I don't do it. But so I'll add different textures in with it, even though it's, you know, I don't stick to the mold of things. Now, Toby says, now I really, really want a dog sweater with Roomba ruffles, pink and sparkly. Oh, sparkles! I'm a sparkly girl. My nails, yeah, sparklies. You can't tell on camera, but yep. Oh, Toby, yes, ADHD autism in action, but doing well, full of joy. I wear people out, I'm sure. Wait, see, this is the problem with trying to do that kind of stuff in the one. Which one? Tell me, remind me which one which one this is referring to. Toby says sew, but not crochet. I would have loved to have been able to learn to sew. If it's something where I just really don't have the patience for it, and then it's a complete no. My husband and I tried to learn how to quilt. He loves quilting and this kind of stuff, arts, fabric arts, and this kind of stuff reminds him of his grandmother. And it makes him happy, and he loves to see me doing it. And so one time we tried to do quilting, and yeah, I was not good at it. I tried to sew the quilt together, and I ended up sewing it right down the middle and didn't realize that I'd sewed it in half. So that didn't work. But he actually did complete a oh, this one is this one right here. It's purple. Is that the one? Uh, or is it the or this one? So that purple works. That purple shows up better. It's that really vibrant purple. That's almost, this purple is good for camera. You can see it, but anyway, yeah, he did really well. He made an actual quilt for our son. It was a Spider-Man quilt. It came in a kit, and he got it. He finished his. I gave up, and then we decided, yeah, quilting is a lot. It's crocheting and knitting is a lot easier. So I just stuck with that. A Chihuahua sweater. Oh, Chihuahua sweater is a very small project. Yes, yeah. I have two. I have Chihuahuas. They do. One of them likes to wear sweaters, and she likes to wear her thunder shirt when she has Cushing's, and she's very hyper all the time and shaking all the time because of the adrenaline that happens with Cushing's. And so for a while we had her thunder shirt, and we kept her in it during storms. She does not do well during the 2 times a year where we have fireworks. She does not like it. She does not like bacon sizzling. She doesn't like Christmas morning package opening, anything that gets her. Yeah. So, but yeah, we didn't know she had Cushing's until we got our boy Ollie, my Labradoodle. He kept sniffing around her and he kept whimpering at her, and he would come to us and he'd whimper at us, and then he'd go to her and whimper at her, and then come back and back and forth. And we're like, what the heck? And he would sniff where she was laying. So I said, he's acting weird, and we know he's a service animal trained for it. And I said, we probably should have her checked. So we did. We took her in immediately, and yeah, she's got Cushing's. She's 13, I think she's 13 or 14. So, but it's getting to be hard. Hey, Betty Boo. Hey. Yep, I am live at night talking about nothing. Oh, so that is, it's going to be fun. It'll be interesting to watch me try to teach somebody. And my husband is a hoot. You guys will absolutely adore him. I do. He's my person. But if you ever want to see how we are together, go to my videos or live thing, and you can go see all of our videos we've done together, lives from before, over the years. And there's this one short we have up where he professes his love for me, and I made it into a short. It's on the front of this channel. He's known as Captain Unicorn online, and he will be known as Captain Unicorn during our crocheting stuff. But we have months, so I have time to get the table that I want to get and have it set up so that I can do it with the Legos, and then continue to use that for when we want to do the crochet. That's going to be fun. I kind of need to get going on that. So Toby says, so can you crochet and watch trials at the same time? I crochet and watch TV. I do several things at once. Normally I'm doing 3 things at one time. Like when I was working, when I was working for the network, I have 6 monitors. I still have them here. I don't use all 3 of the computers anymore. I only need the one now. But when I was working, I was doing 3 computers with 6 monitors at once, running all of that stuff over there for that lovely network. But yes, and normally if I am watching something on YouTube, I will have 2 things up on YouTube. And like today, I had Jules and Steven Drazo up at the same time, and I'm listening to both of them at the same time. I do, if I'm on just watching stuff on YouTube, then I'm on my phone doing stuff, and then I'm talking to the dogs or whatever. So yes, I can never sit still and do one thing at a time. It does not work. This is why if you watch me, my eyes are all over the place. Yes, because I am very ADHD. So the purple and white purse would look nice. Yeah, that it would. I would look. I think I actually need to meet somebody, find a sewing group, and maybe somebody can make me one. I am not a sewer, but it would look cool. Probably what I should have done is, well, no, I bet you I could. I bet you I could just lay it out and, you know, get the material and then out with, draw out the shape of it, and then, you know, if I watch YouTube, I can figure it out. That's how I learn. I did not learn to crochet and knit on YouTube because YouTube wasn't a thing when I first started. I actually learned from books, and that was difficult as a person with, I'm a very visual person. I have to see things. And when YouTube came out and I got a hold of a computer and started watching YouTube videos, that's when my learning crochet and knit took off. From the bushes, it's the eve of a long weekend here. Oh, hey, Betty Boo. Oh, is it already weekend? What? Oh, today's Wednesday. Okay. Oh, I always forget. You're ahead of us. Time. What kind of bushes, Betty? From the bushes. We say that a lot. If a lot of us, if we're watching somebody, I'm mostly in the bushes, meaning you're back, you're listening. You're not. They don't know you're there. They don't know you're spying on them. But I, not on people that I have issues with or anything like that, but on the people that I watch regularly. I'm mostly in the bushes in the background, listening, that kind of thing. Because if I'm chatting, I chat too much, and I don't want to be a bother to people in their chat. I'm really chatty. What kind of? Okay, we got that one. Everybody who sat and watched trials also crochet blanket squares. Nobody would ever be cold. Yeah, yes. Yeah, it's actually, like I said, I have not done any trial watching the entire summer. I took a break, and I just did stuff with John. But what I listen to, I'm not, I listen to stuff about current events and stuff that's going on in our political world right now. But I don't talk about it with friends or anybody. So, but I just watch, stuff on that kind of stuff, and I'll do my crocheting or, that kind of stuff or I'll be talking to, Susie and I talk a lot behind the scenes together, and we'll spend hours talking. Says I used to be able to do it, not anymore. I get sensory. Oh yeah. It happens, my issue is that my focus is better in one thing if I have something else going on. Like in school, for kids, some kids, like, who are on the spectrum, they're allowed to have certain things to hold on to fiddle with while they are doing something else, because that one fiddle thing helps them to concentrate on what they're supposed to be doing. So you have this one thing that helps the other. That's basically how my mind works. If I'm sitting here or whatever, I'm constantly fiddling with my hands below the screen. Nobody sees it. But yeah, it's just a way to, keep the brain going. Otherwise, if I find myself, if I'm doing something that especially if it's something I'm not really fond of, I have to have something else to focus on in my hands to do stuff with, so I can complete the thing I'm supposed to be doing. Sometimes some schools will let kids chew gum if they have to. I do. No, I don't chew gum in front of people, but in my own home while I'm working or whatever, I have that going. That's the third thing that I'm normally doing to help me focus on what the project is, whatever's going on. It's just that extra thing, so it's a lot. It tires me out, but I still don't sleep that well. But oh, I don't do well with directions. Neither do I. Oh, it took me a while to get used to it, and I have to have visuals to go along with it, which is why YouTube has become fantastic. The crochet world, I am sub to everybody. Really good people out there with great videos on how to do things. So yes, visuals is definitely, I'm a visual learner. uh MTT, as you can tell by her name, does a lot of good fun stuff. She does great nails. I do my own. I don't do, they're not fake. I hate fake. They're not acrylic. They are natural. But I paint my own. I don't go to a nail person. I don't do direct. Okay, she says I don't do directions to be. I don't do directions to be more specific. Yeah. One of the things I want to get into is doing amigurumi, or you know what that is. You're knitting the little animals or little whatever, dolls and all that kind of stuff. I want to do that next. That's one of the things that I would love to try to get into. I think it would be fun. I wanted to do Pokemon, the figures for Pokemon. There's a girl on YouTube who has an entire Pokédex of crocheted Pokemon. I want to do it. Pokemon's another thing that I'm into. But Toby says you got it, Addi. First, draw a paper pattern on parchment paper or wrapping paper. Give yourself extra for the seams. It's the stitching that's the problem. It can even be hemmed by hand. I can sew by hand. I can do that whip stitch? Not that. But I can sew things that need to be, if I got a hole in something, but I can't use a sewing machine. So hand sewing, like sewing buttons on and that kind of stuff, I can do that. And I know that if I followed a video and watched somebody sew a lining in a purse and how to cut it and all that stuff, I probably could do it. But I think it would be a good idea to put linings in the purses so that stuff doesn't poke through, even though it is single crochet, but still, little stuff pokes through. Let's see. See, you mean you don't behave the way they want you to, or you have trouble following often badly written. And it's funny if you're trying to figure out if your stitch count is the same as the person's. I don't ever worry about that. If it says, oh, make sure that your stitch, if you have to go up a size or down a size or whatever, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll just, it is what it is. I don't worry about whether or not I've made something bigger than it should have been or whatever. One thing about this amigurumi stuff is that the plushie, they call them plushies too. So you're doing like bears and cats and all that stuff. The plushies, they use I guess they call it chenille. It's like a faux fur, animal fur type of thing. It's really fuzzy. It's thicker. It's more of a, it's not a worsted. It's more of a bulky weight, but it takes a bit to get used to that because you cannot really see you can't visually see the stitches. You have to kind of feel them as you go. I have done some things, and some of the yarns that I use in these are that kind of plushy stuff. And so you really have to be able to feel to see where the stitch is and to know, hey, did I get enough stitches here? Did I put the number I'm supposed to put? That would be something that I would love to try, is to do the plushy animals, because it's all, oh, my doggies want to visit, because it's all single crochet. So I figured I could do it. Yeah. Do you know how to do the other kinds of stitches, like double and all that stuff? I don't know, in Canada, do they call them the same as they do in Europe? In Europe, they call the double, I think, is a treble. And then the double stitch in Europe is the single. It's confusing. But do you know how to do those other stitches? And the magic circle had me in. Oh, I love the magic circle. I actually don't like using the, when you crochet with you make your, the chain. I don't like doing the chains. I like doing the magic circle. And if you weave in the end right, it will not come undone. All of these are all magic circle. I don't like doing it with the chain. I think because I like in my crochet on my squares, as you can see with this one, I like the center to be tight. I like it completely closed. I don't like the center to be open. I normally don't like holes in things. I have what is that called? The thing that they call it a fear of holes, but it's not really a fear as in you're scared of it. It actually is a physical reaction to seeing things with holes in it. So I in my crochet I keep my holes small, so I can't really see them, and uh, you really can't tell that there's big old holes in it. I forget what it's called. Trypophobia. I have that. So yeah, things with holes, patterns of holes. It's a whole thing. Uh, she says it's hard to do the magic circle with that yarn. Oh, yeah. So when you say that yarn, you mean the plushy stuff? I haven't tried that yet because that's a part of doing the little animals, especially if you with the animals, you got to kind of make them a body. So you start with you know, a circle, and then you're constantly going around and whatever with that. So I cannot imagine trying to pull that yarn through. So MTT, you should come up with me sometime and talk this kind of stuff. Just to chat about stuff. That'd be kind of fun. Magic circle, it is okay. So when you're the center part in a square, you start with the center, these little stitches right here. That is done in a circle. There's groups of 3, and then you put a space. Sometimes they tell you to put 2 space. I don't put 2 space. I put 1 because I don't like big holes. So my squares have smaller holes, and so I use 1. I don't use any spaces between when you're going across the pattern this way long ways. I don't put between each cluster. I do not put a single, what do you call it, extra doohickey. But when you go to the corner, let's say you're doing a corner piece, even on the corners like this, I only put 1 on these. When I'm finishing up the project and the entire outside of the blanket, all of those get to so it lays flat like a square. These are more of the shape is different. I like the shape better with the not adding the 2 stitches between each of the clusters. It's a whole thing. But anyway, what was the question again? Oh, magic circle. So in the middle, what you do is you're taking your yarn and you're making a circle out of it, and then you're crocheting around that the number of stitches that you need. And then when you're done, you cinch it and it closes up. You pull a little string and it closes up, and then you weave that string in and it stays closed and doesn't come apart. If you do it enough, weaving in and out, it won't come undone. So, but that's, they usually you can do it in ways. You can make your chain of 5 little chains, and then you can make a ring out of that, and then you crochet over that, and then when you can go back around and then tighten it up if you want to make the hole smaller. I just like the magic circle is way easier. It doesn't always work. It can come apart, but I've not had any issues with it. Let's see. Hey, DP. Did I say that right? DP. Hi there. Welcome. Oh, so the magic circle is a way of crocheting in a circle, just the name of it. Yeah. And then it starts it out, and then the way you do it, the magic circle becomes the square. You can actually crochet an entire square in a circle, and then at the end of it, make it into a square. So the entire center of the shape would be a circle, and then at the end of it, when you're putting the outside on, crocheting the outside, then you do it in such a way, adding stitches and whatever, to make it square shape. So these are all, for those who don't crochet, this is called a granny square, and it's my favorite thing to do. It's really easy because it's mindless work. It's 3 stitches, then you move to the next one, and you do 3 stitches. It's 3 double crochet, move over, do 3 double crochet in the next hole. So, but I like it. It is It's fun. And also you're not crocheting an entire huge thing until you get down to putting the blanket together. If you're going to make it a blanket. I so want to make I think I'm going to make a sweater. I think I'm going to break down and do it. I'm going to make a granny sweater. I'm going to make a granny sweater, I think. We'll see if I can do it. Huh. I think I can. It'll be easy. Let's see. Make it weekly. Oh, we can make it a weekly thing. Oh, that would be fun. Yes, we can do stuff. Back we can go. You go on. We can do it together. Do whatever you want to do. We'll talk about it. That'll be fun. Does one use a traditional crochet hook with the magic circle, or yes, you use a regular crochet hook, and yeah, it's easy once you get the hang of it. You won't want to go back because you can actually see the hole, because I hold mine and keep my fingers in it, and then the hole stays this big until I close it. So with my eyes issue, my eyes are not great. So I actually have to crochet with no glasses because I have to be up here. I can't see with my glasses to do up close stuff. Yeah, I'm legally blind. Regular crochet hook, yes. Toby, now I'm thinking of Harry Potter and how Ron's mother was always making sweaters and doing yarny things with magic. Oh, yeah. John would love you for that. John would love the fact that you just made that reference. John Yates is a Harry Potter. He was shocked that I at one point had never seen a Harry Potter movie. And he said, "You have to go watch. You have to. No friend of mine." You have to go watch. So I started watching the Harry Potter just for him. It's fun. I'm just not really I'm not a fantasy type person. I'm that child at Disneyland who goes, "I can see the zipper." I'm that person. With that fuzzy yarn, that part, it usually doesn't pull for me. Oh, does that I wonder if that's it, with that yarn, maybe you have to crochet looser with it. That might be something I have to keep in mind and keep in my head while I'm crocheting, because I'm a tight crocheter. Not tight, but I mean, I like the same tension, and I don't like loosey goosey. So maybe with that kind of stitch, with that kind of yarn, you have to be kind of more loosey goosey with it. Toby, pie makes me think I should grab some of those baked apple slices and and I only learned 2 years ago. It took me a week to get the chain and a single crochet down. Oh, there's so many awesome. Hey, Curvy, good to see you. Oh, good to see you. Look at all these people I haven't seen in a while. This poor channel. People don't even know I exist out here anymore because it doesn't get any work. But what was I saying? Oh, so go back to here for a second. It took me a week to get the chain and a single crochet down. I remember. I can't really. I think I got really frustrated at the beginning when I first started. This was 30 years ago. I was 26, and I'm 57. But when I first started, yeah, I was looking at the book. I was so frustrated. I'd put it down for a couple days, but I'd go back to it. And for a long time, though, I really, didn't really do it full time. Or, I put it down for a while and then go back. And then when YouTube came around, it's like I like to just sit down and watch crochet videos. Yeah. It's the same with video playing. I like to watch people play videos. I also like to watch people crochet. It also helps me visually because I can usually pick up a crochet hook and, do what they just did with no issue, learn quick just because it's visual. Toby, what kind of yarn? Okay, let's see. What kind of yarn and tool should I have on hand just in case I happen to catch an episode of Crochet? So I normally only use what's called worsted weight. You can go to Walmart and just um go to the yarn aisle, and it'll either say worsted weight, it'll have a number 4, and it will tell you what size of hook is recommended for that yarn. So you pick up a, a hook the size that it says on the package. I would look for the cheapest yarn you can find, which is actually my favorite kind of yarns is the just whatever it is that's at yarn, at the thing. Here, let me stand up again. I don't 1 second. I can't get that out. Hold on. There. Oop, I just dropped everything on the floor. Whatever. Okay. Then there it is. I got lost. So, this is normally just the kind of yarn I get. I buy I use the white for the edges. There we go. So it's just Red Heart. I get the Super Saver, but just because I use a lot at once. And this is Red Heart is good for beginning crochet. I don't use fancy stuff. I use this stuff, and I do not use wool because wool makes me itchy. And then I get these, and then I have a winder. It's right there on the shelf is a little red and white thingy right there. That's a yarn winder. I take these and I wind them into cakes, that with that little thing makes it easier to use, so that because if you just try to crochet off of one of these and just, we're going to use this whole thing and not do it, it'll end up being a mess of yarn barf by the time you're done with it. Yarn barf is a bunch of, a big hunk of yarn that's messed up, and you got to sit there for an hour trying to untangle it. So if you do them in little cakes, it makes it much easier, and it's not really that big a deal if you have to, if you end up using one color and you run out to start I'm at the end of my yarn. What do I do now? You just attach more yarn to it and keep on going. I used to do something called the Russian join, but I've just been doing the little magic, whatever the heck it is, 2 little knots. I'll show everybody that. I wanted to show you something that my husband made. So this is a yarn bowl. He made it with, I am so bad about directions on camera. As you can see, it's got little different things. The yarn goes down. You put your yarn ball in here, and then you can put your yarn, goes in here and then goes in a circle, and it sits here in the middle, and then you can pull it out and it'll hold your yarn for you, so your yarn's not flittering all over the place. But he made it with a 3D printer. There used to be something here, but it didn't survive. It broke off, as you can tell. But he made me this one. I have another one, 2 other ones over there that are the Death Star from Star Wars. They are yarn bowls as well. But yeah, this is one. Whenever I'm doing projects, I usually keep my yarn balls in these. I take the drawers that are right there, and I'll pull them out, and I'll use those as a thing to hold the yarn if I'm using a bunch of colors together. That works, as a way to keep your yarn. I don't do anything fancy. Just if I need more yarn bowls, he just makes me, he just 3D prints me up a yarn bowl. Let me see. Crafting. Let me go back up here. Oh, what's it? So you said this one I missed. So I ended up finding a YouTube video and slowed it all the way down, and that's how I learned eventually. Yes. Videos. It helps visually. I can do patterns. I can read them. I have no, I can do it. I like to, you know, crochet along. I'll put the video on, whatever it is they're working on, I'll put that on and I'll stop it if I need to. Then I'll catch up with them and then keep on going. Let's see. Oh, hey, who do you like to watch crochet on YouTube? Let me think. I got so many that I don't know names. There's one girl I started watching. She's more of a she does crochets at markets and stuff like that. So she goes to markets and sells her crochet there. I watch her. I don't really see her crocheting as much as talking about her market stuff, but I'll have to put together a list of who it is that I watch. Basically, I have it. It's in my, when you're looking at your page that tells you, recommendations. Mine has crochet in there because I look at it so much and it's filled with it. So I just hit the crochet thing and a bunch of crochet people come up. But I don't know who they are as far as people. I would have to go look at names. I just look at them for the patterns or for how they're doing to learn what it is they're trying to, to make, so I can learn. Let's see. Do you pull from the inside or outside of the skein? I always pull from the inside. Some people don't like that because they find that it does, you get more yarn barf, but I don't have a big deal with yarn barf. I'm okay with it. If it is a thing, it is what it is. I just work it, undo it, and it's fine. But when you use the yarn winder, it makes the cake small and it creates a center pull. And a cake is actually, it's flat on top. And then here, I'll show you one more. Let me see. I have to find let me find one that's already got done. Yep, here we go. Let me get one that's lighter color. Come on now. Oh, yeah, we can use this one. This is good. All right, so this is, here I come. I just don't like to show my butt on. So this is it's really red. Woohoo! My favorite color. Okay, so this is a yarn cake. And this was wound by my winder. And the center pull, the outside, I just tie it off and let it sit here. The center pull is right here, and then it just pulls right out. And I already have I already did the, your doohickey. What do you call your slip knot? That's right. So I already did I have a slip knot ready to go on it, but it just pulls out like this. See, from the center. And if it starts to loosen up and it gets too loosey-goosey, that's what these yarn bowls are really good for. You just stick it. It won't fit in here because I make them smaller for the yarn bowl. But if you put them in the yarn bowl and whatever, you don't have to worry about whether or not your yarn cakes get too loosey-goosey and then you feel like, oh, it's going to tangle. No, it just pulls out like that. And I find that it doesn't bother my tension. Some people don't like it because they like to use the outside to kind of help with their tension. But my tension I do it with my hand. I don't let the tension come from the ball of yarn. I control it with my fingers. So I don't like those tension rings that you've seen. Those things, yeah, I don't. This is how I hold my yarn. So if I'm gonna crochet, I have, of course, I'm left-handed, so I create my stuff. So if I'm gonna make my slip knot, I just do it this way, like that. But if I'm holding my yarn to crochet, I have the end. So the end of the ball that comes from the skein will roll. I'll wrap it around my finger twice, and then it dangles, and then I kind of pinch it off like this. Some people will go weave in and out, or like this kind of thing. They'll do different ways. It just depends on how they like to hold it and what kind of tension. I'll take my tension and have it controlled here this way with a double on my finger for a while, and then I'll slip my finger out and just have it come over, and it'll just be like this. There's so many ways to hold a hook that it can be daunting to try to figure out how you want to hold it. You can hold it like a knife. I'll show all that stuff. You can hold it like a knife. You can hold it like a pen. I can't do that. I did not learn how to hold it like a pin. I think it looks beautiful and graceful to watch somebody crochet holding it like a pin, but my brain is like, yeah, no, you need to hold that sucker like a knife, like you're out for blood. Like you're out. But oh yes, my little yarn bowl. Yes, my little yarn bowl has a paw print on it. I thought it was adorable. Yeah, those who came in and didn't see it, this is my yarn bowl. Hello, Reckless Grace. Wow, I'm so happy you're over here. Oh my goodness. Very cool. So, let me get down to the bottom. Okay, so yarn barf. Yarn barf is when you pull out you have your skein, and then you pull, and all of a sudden a big poof of the yarn comes out, and it's all matted up and all, look, you're like, oh my goodness, how the heck am I going to undo that? It's not really that bad. I mean, you just take a minute and you kind of figure out that some of the yarn's looped over itself and it's kind of created a knot. It's easy to fix. You just work, you undo it, you get past it, and it's a thing. You'll find it, it'll be a thing. You get used to it. Some people will actually go snip, snip. I'm not worrying about that. I am not that person. I will sit there and undo my yarn barf, or anytime my yarn gets knotted. If I can't get it unknotted and it's too frustrating, I will just take that knotted yarn and I will put it in my yarn. I keep all of the ends that I cut. And if you do plushies or anything like that, or you're making things where you have to put stuffing, you can take all of that yarn and put it in your projects to use as stuffing. So save those yarn ends. They call them yarn ends. When you cut the yarn off, if you have enough of yarn ends, you could actually tie them together and crochet like my blanket that's over here, the blanket of many colors. It's all extra yarn that was left over from other things, and I just stuck them all together. But yeah, yarn barf is just a thing that happens, and it's a part of crochet. So let's see. So good to see you here, Grace. Is it DP? Am I saying that right? If I don't make a cake, I put my skein in a tall vase so it doesn't roll around. That's kind of cool. They do have these things where you can attach this run a thing through it, and it sits, and it has this, it's like a spindle, and it holds your yarn, and it will spin like this as you crochet. I've seen those. I'm just afraid that I'm I forget, and I'm not maybe not concentrating on what I'm doing because I'm doing other things, and I'll pull that sucker off and it'll fall. That's only my problem with those. If I put it in a yarn bowl, I can put the yarn bowl on the ground or on the table or whatever, and I don't have to worry about it. But those spindly things, and those will spin. It'll spin it like this, and then you can take the yarn from the outside rather than pull skein like this. So there are different ways. Just some people like a certain way. There's one crochet, I think her name is like Holly Anna. I think HOLLYAUNA. I think. I recently found her, and she's adorable, cute. But she doesn't like these. She doesn't like the center pull skeins, and I'm like, how can you not? I just find it's much easier for me, but to each their own. And so you do crochet tight. Yeah. I don't crochet to the point where I can't get my needle in and out of the stitches, but I like a firm, I like everything controlled. I noticed, like I said, when I was looking at my mom's crochet, hers is very loose. And It was a lot. I was like, oh, this is so loose. I'm not. I don't crochet that loose. It's beautiful and I love it and I'm glad I have it. But I looked at it going, yeah. Um, I hold with my pink. Oh, yes. I kind of like do this unless my joints are hurting. I take joint pills to help, but um it's kind of control it this way, but it's usually wrapped in this. I'll have to show it, once I am actually holding a crochet hook and stuff, I'll kind of show you how I hold mine. Making a blanket like the purple and sage one with two contributors and different stitches requires talented, skillful fingers. It looked the one that I showed, or my first blanket. It looks very intricate. That's that one where I said that you can start. Oh, that's what I was talking about when I said that you can crochet a circle and then make it square. Because if you look, the center of that's a circle. So it's, there we go. But the outside is done to where it turns the circle into the square. So that's a circle center granny square. You can see the other ones are, where to go? Backwards. That's a square all the way down. That single or double crochet all the way around in every stitch. Now she did do, if you notice the large holes, though, that's two stitches between the groups. So however many goes around, to make the corner, she added 2 stitches. I don't like that because it makes gigantic holes. It's part of my trypophobia, but she did do it that way. So I did it on the ones I created the same way, just so it matched. But yeah, it looks very intricate, but actually it's deceivingly so. Once you get used to it and learn how to do it, it's not as bad as it looks. Oh, sounds like die. Oh, like pie. Oh, okay, got it. Sorry, I knew I was saying it the wrong way. Grace says, it's funny, last night you guys were talking about Mormons, and I disclosed that that's how I grew up. In junior high, girls had to learn to crochet, so I crochet. I didn't learn to crochet as a child. I learned after I left my adoptive mom that I grew. My adoptive family did not. My mom was not a crocheter. She was a sewer. She sewed all of our clothes. We matched. All of us had the same, same material, same type of thing. All of our outfits matched to our, what they call Sunday go to meeting clothes. That's what, yeah. But when I got married and I was bored being a new stay-at-home mom, I needed something to do. So I said, I just want to learn to crochet. So I taught myself to crochet, and then I taught myself to knit at the same time, with books, which is very difficult for someone who's a visual learner. But yeah, no, I kind of wish that I had learned how to crochet when I was younger. I just didn't have the desire when I was younger. I got the desire older. Yes, that was awesome though. That discussion was a lot. That was a lot. If you guys missed it, we talked about a lot about the Sister Wives show, and we had Without a Crystal Ball on with us, Katie Joy, and there was a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a lot. I don't know what we're gonna do with. We'll see if we actually continue covering that. I don't know. We'll see. It kind of changed a lot for a lot of us in our thinking process on that one. Let's see. Yeah. Toby, I can imagine getting carpal tunnel syndrome from crocheting. I actually got carpal tunnel from flipping fry baskets at McDonald's. That was before I learned to crochet. But yeah, it acts up every now and again. If I crochet all day, I'll feel it. By the next morning, I'll wake up going, oh, I've done too much. So yeah, over this summer, I have crocheted all day. I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to have fun with. and I enjoyed it. I've just doing my thing, listening to videos, doing my thing, and recovering from a job that I no longer have, that I had for 7 years, and just enjoying the summer. And then doing stuff with John is what I so ganglion cysts. Yeesh. Yeah, it is painful. It is. For a while was wearing those braces on my hands whenever I'd have a flare up of carpal tunnel. I think I missed something. Is Addi going to teach crochet to us? I am going to start doing, crochet lives. My husband wants to learn. He's only been watching me crochet for what, 30 years or whatever it is. And he told me it was on a night where we were enjoying we were imbibing. And at first we woke up the next morning. I go, do you remember? He goes, yes. I go, okay. Are you really serious? Yes. Okay. Just checking. But yeah, he wants to learn to crochet. And John's husband, Cody, also wants to learn to crochet. And so we're going to do it online together. I'll have to my husband and I are going to figure out ways to set stuff up so that so he can be in front of me and we can film it and whatever. I just need to get the ball rolling on that kind of thing. And now that I know that David wants me to be on Lego Law and do that, I now really have to get in gear and get the stuff I need to show, to be able to have a camera that looks down on my hands. So I'll figure it out. So yeah, eventually I'll be doing that. Love the circle ones. You can teach me that. Yes. Yeah. I'll have to look at it. I actually had no pattern for that. I have to look at it and see, and I'll have to, kind of try to figure it out again, because that was years ago that I made all those years ago, and then just recently put all the squares together because I was working 16 hours a day at the network. And so I wasn't doing a lot of crocheting for the past 7 years because of that. And I had gotten it right before I'd started working with, full time with the network. And I don't have a pattern for that blanket. It was just whatever my mom made or however she made it. I just took a look at it and tried to follow what I could tell and what I know the stitches and stuff. So I would have, but yeah, actually that we can do, we can go over some videos and stuff and look at some circular patterns and stuff that start out with a circle of some kind and then make it into a square. I've been looking at those a lot lately because I think it's interesting how you can take a circle and then bring it in and it becomes a square. Said, I want that beautiful circle surrounded by purple that becomes not a square, but a dog sweater with neck and belly band. That'd be cool. That's okay. No problem about the name thing. Sorry. Oh. Let's see. Trying to catch up. I have a habit of wanting to read everything. So, anywho, let's see. My son, who's 33, learned how to crochet, how to cross stitch. Cross stitching is fun. I used to also do plastic canvas. That's another one that's fun. Cross stitch is not bad. It's fun. I like that. That one actually hurts my fingers because it's, you're using a tiny little needle and that's a lot. Cross stitch is also, plastic canvas. That's fun. Have you ever tried that one? I like that. He learned from his wife and that's how he proposed. Oh, you got me in the feels. That's cute. Miss Catherine, Reckless Grace, I appreciated the discussion of JWAS the other evening and your contribution in the comments was insightful. Yes, I loved it. And I love the fact that we find out that you had a similar growing up as I did. Two faiths that are very similar. I'll just say that. Grace says, my mom would put the money that we wanted to use to go to the movies inside the center of the ball of yarn. So we had to crochet all the way. Oh, to crochet all to the center of the ball to get the money to go to the movies. I like that. Wendy, hi. I didn't see you until just now. I was way up there in the comments. Sorry about that. I have a habit of wanting to read everything. Everything I make, I'm usually winging it. Remember, everyone used to say I did kindergarten craft. Oh no, that's yeah. No, I think we need to get more crafty stuff going on. You know, do stuff like this kind of stuff. I think it would be fun. So geometry, I don't know. So I was homeschooled, but I have a learning disability. So all my siblings and I were all homeschooled. Never saw the inside of a public school until I had my own sons and lived vicariously through them. But so if it was a subject I had an issue with, I had a lot of help. It's not good. I wish that I had been actually put in school and taught in a non-homeschool setting. I think I would have done better. But yeah, I don't know geometry. I also am not very good at geography. One of the jokes that was always a joke in our family was that one time on a test, I said that the Inca Indians were whalers. So there you go. Like, what? Don't ask me, but that was a joke that was often told in many a circle. So I did cross stitch before when I was 16. Yeah, it's pretty. I like cross stitch. I think that for me, plastic canvas was much more fun, just because it's bigger, it's easier. You know, you can put it together. You can make things. You can make, purses out of it or whatever. That's fun. It was so precious. Like, cross stitched. Will you marry me? Aww. So it took me years to get over my distaste for math. Oh my gosh. Math is not my thing. So my biological mother was most likely also on the spectrum. In fact, before she passed away, she'd met me and then discovered how much not only am I her doppelganger, her doppelganger, or we look so much alike. Like, you can't tell the difference. But she also found out that similarly in other aspects we're similar. So she's said she wanted to get herself tested for autism. And I said, that would be a good idea. I would agree with it. But sadly, she was not able. She passed away. Was it in 2016? I think it was. We got to my husband after she passed away. My husband put a trip together for me to go meet my family, my biological family, the next year. So sadly, she wasn't there. She passed from sepsis. It's something that seems to run in my biological family. I've had it twice. So, and I have another sibling. I think my uncle passed from it as well. So don't let sepsis. Don't if you feel something, you're not right, go to the doctor. Also, I had to be told when to go to the doctor because I'm not good at that. I cannot tell you I am sick. I can tell you I don't feel good, but I can't tell you how bad or what I think is wrong with me. I can just, I'm sick. That's an autism thing. Okay, take care, Toby. Sorry if I missed you. I was way the heck of this. It means me. Good to see you moving forward, onward, upward. I hope to connect in the course. Yes, that would be fun. Take care. If I missed you, talk to you later, Toby. Addi, have you? That's one of the things. Diamond painting is something that I was thinking about looking into and seeing if I liked it. I would start with a small project and see if it keeps my interest, and see how I'd love to see what people do and the things they make with it. I kind of want to see if I can do it one of these days. I haven't tried it yet, but I've thought about it. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. There's a whole story behind it that I don't talk about. But yeah, it was sad. But I did gain an entire huge family. It was one of the best trips I've ever had in my life. And our first meeting, I arranged for us to be at Crystal Burger in Florida, where I'm from, to have our first meeting. But yes, it was the best week. It was awesome. We had a huge family reunion. It was over Christmas 2017. I spent Christmas with them, and they had an entire huge family reunion, and everyone was there. I had no idea that I had a big family like that. No idea. And it was awesome. But yeah, we don't, I mean, I keep up sometimes, but not that often with them. They have lives, and we're not that close, and it's sad. I lost a sister at the beginning of the pandemic. I lost her. She was a couple of years younger. I'm the oldest of all of them, of all of my siblings, my biological siblings. I have four others, so there are 5 of us. It's a whole story. But yeah, the siblings, the party, getting to meet all the family, it was awesome. So sorry, I have a DR appointment. Oh, I missed you. Good, thank you. Take care. Good. I'm with you while you're there. Mwah. Love you, Grace. Thank you for being here. Oh, let me see. Oh, it helps. Whoops, where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, I should already be off here, but I'm so sorry. I kept you awake. I'm on the West Coast. So if you're on the East Coast, I am sorry. It is, oh my goodness. What is it? It's 11:30 there. I should probably wrap this up. Yeah, I've been going for 2 hours. Holy mackerel. John, I actually pulled off 2 hours. Oh my goodness. Oh, so I have 2 sisters. Oh, see, it's hard. I got along with them. We had the best time. I really would love to go back and see them again. Oh, and I did that 23andMe thing. Holy moly, do I have a lot of people I'm related to. It's a lot. I had no idea. Yeah, they come when you do that 23andMe, all of a sudden you're like, oh, look at that. A lot of blood relatives. Yes, I don't. My siblings, she had 4. So one, she put up adoption after me. She was very young when she had me, and then 2 years later she had another young, another one, and then the other 3, she was married, and they have the same father. So my siblings and I don't have the same father. My father doesn't know I exist. She didn't tell him that she was pregnant. On the West Coast too, Pacific Northwest. Yes, so am I. I am in the Pacific Northwest. Everyone knows it. I'm on the West Coast too, and I like listening to the way you share stories, so I keep hanging on. I'm a lot to handle. Should be putting this way and turning off my. Okay, so what I'm going to do to help you with that is I'm actually going to go now so I can go be with my husband before he shuffles off to bed. So I thank you guys. This was awesome. I didn't know it was going to turn into this, but it was awesome. I'm glad this is fun. We just, came up with stuff that I had no idea what I was going to talk about, and it worked. And y'all got to see me blah, 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 blah. So thank you guys. MTT, we'll get together. That'll be fun. We'll get together and do stuff together, and then it won't be just me talking like this all the time. Anywho, so again, tomorrow night we should be back with John 90 Day. He did put it for tomorrow. So be sure to look out for that. For those of you who are not into reality TV, just, thank you for giving it a view just to help me out a little bit. Thank you guys for your support. And you'll be seeing more of me. And I'm going to try and do some of those things on that case that I'm following. I'm going to try and see if I can do some with me on camera with that. We'll see if maybe I'll do some of my little video reading and whatnot live, and you guys can hear me do it live like I did during the Daybell trial. We'll see. Right now I'm kind of doing those in videos just so I can practice reading and trying to not sound so much like I'm reading. But that was my sort of first attempt at that. Let me know what you thought on that. The video, I put it up earlier today. For the rest of you, thank you. For the replay watchers, let me know if you crochet, if you don't. If it's something you want to watch me do and learn how to do with us, let me know. And I'm going to work on getting that set up and get to it. And I thank you so much for, supporting and being here. And I'm going to bid you all adieu. Let me, wait 1 second. I can do one thing. Where'd it go? I lost that. Hold on. Yep. Take that down. All right. And I bid you adieu. Where is it? I'll make sure I don't put the right. I have to find my thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry. Bye.